names that was given to us, that's not us. We are the people of this Bible. And what God is calling to us to do, what Christ just told us to do, is to return to our Maker. We signed the contract. We signed the covenant to Him. So what we got to do is do what the words say. Deuteronomy 30:8. Deuteronomy 38. Because a lot of people say, I talk to God, I hear God. But let's see what God's voice says. Because when God stepped off his throne, he spoke. And what he spoke, let's see what his words were.
Deuteronomy 30 verse 8. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord.
The voice of the Lord. What is the voice of the Lord? Because a lot of people say, I talk to God all the time. I hear him. But let's see what the voice of the Lord is. Let's see what the Bible said it is.
And do all his commandments.
All these what?
And do all his commandments.
His commandments is his voice. God didn't speak no foolishness. He spoke, hey, do this. Thou shalt not. Thou shalt do this. Thou shalt do that. He said, that's his voice. And somebody saying, I listen to God all the time. That's not the God they're talking to. They're talking to somebody else. God say how to live, how to treat your brother, how to have love for your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Don't kill, don't steal. Exodus 20 and 2. Exodus 20 and 1. Because this is what God spoke. When he stepped off the throne, let's see what God said.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 1. And God spake on all these words.
And who spake all these words?
And God spake in all these words.
And who spake all these words?
And God spake all these words.
And God spake these words when he stepped off the throne to us. When he spoke to us. Let's see what God said. Let's see what God said.
And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other God before me.
Commandment 1. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. All of these customs, festivities that's set up today on this planet are fashioned after ancient Babylonian, Talmud, all these different gods. They know that that's sin. Commandment 1. Break commandment 1. Celebrating so-called Christmas is break commandment 1. Because that's going all the way back to an ancient Babylonian custom, setting up a tree, Talmud, all that. It's garbage. There's no other God but one. That's the Creator. Right. And so God, when he spoke laws, commandments. Let's get some more.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any engraven image.
Any graven image, such as our people down in the Caribbean islands, they got a big statue of a man look like this, especially in Brazil, and they bow down to all these different statues. Let's continue on.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any engraven image, or any likeness of anything that in heaven, above that is on earth, and beneath, or that in the water under the earth.
To do what?
Thou shalt not bow down to thyself.
Thou shalt not bow down
thyself unto them, nor serve them.
Nor serve them. We got people, we love our Latin brothers and sisters, but they worship this image. Right. They bow down, they pray to Mother Mary, Mother Jesus, baby Jesus. I'm like, baby Jesus? Come on, now the man, he grew up. You know what I'm saying? They do all this foolishness. The Lord commandment 2 says, don't make no graven images to bow down to them. These are the words that God spoke. So we're trying to get you to, as a nation of people, we have to return back to God's voice. Because he spoke to us and we have to repent. Hosea 6:1. So let's come back and do what the Lord say. Because until then, give me Zechariah 1:3, right there. Zechariah 1. All right, so let's see what all the prophets was telling us.
Zechariah chapter 1 verse 3. Therefore say thou unto them, thus say the Lord of hosts.
Thus said the Lord of hosts. This is what he wants us to do.
Turn ye unto me.
Turn ye back to him.
Say the Lord of hosts. And I will turn unto you, say the Lord of hosts.
And he said, I will return to you. Because when we went through these atrocities of slavery and oppression, he turned his back on us because we broke the covenant. So he said, if y'all stop doing, you know what I'm saying, contrary to what I told y'all and return to me, I'm going to return back to y'all. I love y'all, but y'all got to do what I say. That's what it all boils down to. So you understand that you Israel, Brother Junior, right? You understand that you Israel. You understand what we're bringing out. All right. So now let's see what's required of you. Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Let's see what's required of you, Brother Junior. What God wants us to do. Because he said, turn to me, I'm going to turn to you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all turn y'all back on me, so I turn my back on y'all. That's what he did to us. As a father, he said, okay, y'all want to be hard-headed? Go ahead. Yo, go serve them. That's how God get down. He said, y'all want to do whatever y'all want to do? Okay, go ahead. Do what you want to do. Serve them. I'm going to let them do whatever to you. And this is evidence of whatever. Raping our mothers, cutting their stomachs up, stumping babies' heads out, feeding our babies to alligators, that's whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's some cruel stuff right there. All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doth our Lord thy God require of thee?
So now, Junior, you're finding out that you're Israel. That's your ancient forefather. You're an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? He says, what does God require of you? Do you see yourself on this sign? American black or West Indian, Jamaican? Which one? Jamaican? Okay, so being that you're Jamaican, your ancient forefather is Benjamin. You're from the tribe of Benjamin, the mighty tribe. All right, Benjamin. That's who you are, Brother Junior. You descend from Benjamin. He was the youngest son of Jacob. All right, so that's who you are. So it says, now Israel, what does God require of you? Now Junior of the mighty tribe of Benjamin, an Israelite, what does God require of you? Let's see.
Now Israel, what doth the Lord require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways.
To walk in all his ways is going to explain what his ways are.
And to love him.
And to love him is going to explain what it means to love him.
And to serve the Lord thy God.
It's going to explain how to serve him.
With all thy heart and with all thy soul. To keep the commandment of the Lord.
All summed up in those words. To keep the commandments of the Lord. That's how you serve him. That's how you walk in his ways. That's how you love him. If you're doing what he say, that's all he wants. That's all he wants is for you to do what him say. Samuel 15, obedience, better than sacrifice. 1 Samuel 15. That's all he wants. As a father, that's all you will want from your children. Is for them to be obedient for you. Because you got to look at it like this. God being the creator, all-knowing, all-powerful. Having children on this planet. He loves his children, right? All he wants is the best for his kids. So he's going to give them everything they need to thrive and to rule like he rules. He's going to give them everything they need to be in a good state. But if they not doing what he say, he got to punish them. That ain't no just father that's going to let their kid run rampant and not do nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's chaos. God ain't about chaos. He's about order, structure, discipline. And that's what our community needs. That's what it lacks. Black on black crime, abortion rates at a high number, incarceration rates at a high number. There's no order. There's no structure. There's no discipline. We got to return back to our Father and walk like he walked and do what he says and teach our kids, teach our communities, teach our nation how to be in order under God, under Christ. You understand? That's what we need. 15, 23?
15, 22. 15, 23.
15?
Yeah, 15,
22.
Yeah.
And Samuel said, had the Lord as great delight and burnt offering and sacrifices and obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to
it says to obey is better than sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? What that means is God, sum it all up, God just wants you to obey. That's all he wants. He wants you to be obedient to his words. We already said what his voice was. It's the commandments. So now we're just going to run through a few commandments for you, Junior, because today, a lot of people don't know what today is. Today is one of the biggest holidays that comes every week, and everybody steps and stumps on it like it's nothing. They go to these Sunday services thinking that they're serving the Lord, but in actuality, they're just serving man. If they're serving themselves, their own bellies. Get me Genesis 2 and 1. So now we finna get the beginning of this day that is
Hey, how you doing? What, you said Junior, right? Hey, how you doing, man? First of all, I just want to say I'm sorry what happened to your son. Okay? All right, give me, but the scriptures talk about that. All right? Because what the soldier was bringing out is because we're not keeping God's commandments, these things are happening to us. Our people hate each other, so, you know, they commit these murders and killings against each other. All right, give me Hosea 4:2. Matter of fact, give me Psalms 85 and 11 first. Psalms chapter 85 and 11. All right, so what we got to do is we got to learn who we are and teach our children how to come out of those ways. All right, so give me that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 85, verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth.
You hear that? Truth should spring out of the earth. Truth is springing out of the earth right now. We're teaching our brothers who they are. Our brothers and sisters who they are. That they're not gangbangers. They're not thieves. They're not murderers. But they're more than that. They're righteous people. All right? According to the Lord. They're the Israelites. God's chosen people. Read that again.
The book of Psalms, chapter 85, verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
So you hear that? Truth is going to spring out of the earth. This Bible is going to spring out of the earth. And then you're going to learn who you are. You're not going to be doing these atrocities to your brothers and to your sisters. Give me Hosea chapter 4, verse 2. Okay? But our brothers and sisters don't know that. All they've been taught is hate and hate and hate. They haven't been taught how to love one another. You know, they haven't been taught how to build each other up. All they've been taught is how to bring each other down. That crab in the barrel. We stuck with that thing cooked up in our head, man. We got to come out of that thing. And now that we as parents, we're not teaching our young men to do that. Now we have to bury our children. Okay? And again, I say I'm sorry that happened to you, bro. But there's a solution to come out of that. Our brothers and sisters got to come back to this Bible.
Bring it out. The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 2. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood.
You hear that? Blood touches blood. That's what we've been taught here in America. That's what our people been taught around the world. To hate each other. Okay? To lie to one another. To kill one another. But that's not what God said that he's about. Read on.
Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of the heaven.
So now our brothers and sisters are in mourning because these things are happening to our people. All right, so now if our brothers and sisters are just taught this Bible, taught the scriptures, taught to love one another, these things won't happen. Watch, I'm gonna show you one. Give me Leviticus 19 and 17.
Bring it out.
All right, so that's what the soldier was trying to bring out to you. First of all, to show you who you are and show you what we must do and what's required of us so that these things doesn't happen.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
So that senseless murder that happened to your son, that's a form of hatred. No. That's a form of hatred. And our people got to come out of that thing. They got to see Christ in one another. But instead they've been taught this. So now they don't see Christ in one another. He wouldn't have came and did that to a man that looked like that. Right. But instead he seen somebody that looked like him, and now he got hatred for his brother.
Bring it out. Right. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against thy children of thy people.
You hear that? That's a commandment from God. If our young men would just know this one commandment, stuff like that wouldn't happen to our brothers and sisters. He said you should not avenge. You said they got into an argument, and then he came back and did what he did. Read it again.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17.
He bore a grudge against him, and he avenged him. That's a commandment of the Lord not to do that thing. So you understand what we're trying to show you, brother? We understand by keeping God's commandments, we can come out of those senseless killings, those senseless ways of life. Our brothers think that's the way of life. They think they're a real person by doing things like that. No, that's not what God wanted from us. Read it again.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou
thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
So that's what we're doing out here today. We're trying to rebuke our brothers, meaning just to correct them, just to show them who they are. Show them that there is brothers out here that got love for their people, that got love for their nation.
Right.
We care for you so much, Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We putting our lives on the line to show you who you are.
That's right.
We're putting our lives on the line to go against what society told you.
Right.
Okay? But they've been taught that madness to go against one another, to hate one another. Give me 1 John 4 and 20. 1 John chapter 4 and 20. How you going to hate somebody that was made in the image of God, that was made in the image of Christ? But then they'll say that they believe in the Bible and all of that they believe in Christ. How could you believe in Christ and God, somebody that you never seen, but instead you hate your brother that's right here in front of your face?
Bring it up.
Got so much hatred for him that you will murder him. That's ridiculous, man. Read on.
The book of 1 John chapter 4 verse 20. If a man say, I love God and hate of his brother.
If a man say that he love God, these brothers around here saying that they love God, that they love Christ, but hate of his brother. Read on.
He is a liar.
He is a liar.
For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God?
You hear that? If you hated your brother who you see every single day, how can you say that you love God? How is that possible? Anybody got an answer for that? If you hate your brother that you see every day, how can you say that you love God?
That's right.
That's not what the Bible's talking about.
That's right.
The Bible wants us to come together, join together in the unity of Christ.
Bring it out.
Give me that in Ephesians 2, Zephaniah 2 and 1. All right, he wants us to come together, start to build with one another, start to support each other's businesses. And I ain't talking about selling drugs to one another. That's not a righteous business. That's still another form of murder.
That's right.
You only see that in our communities, man, trying to bring down our communities, bring down our nation, so that we can stay at the bottom. No, we like the soldier was bringing out, we gods on this earth.
That's right.
We the true rulers of this earth.
Right.
But instead, we want to be niggas. Okay? We want to be at the bottom. Nah, not no more, man. We coming out of that. We coming out of them lies. We coming out of that doctrine.
That's right. The book of Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, whole nation not desire.
You hear that? Gather together, Israel. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because these other nations have no love for you. Right. They don't care about you. Gather yourselves together. And how are we going to gather together? Give me that in Ephesians 4 and 3. How are we going to gather together? Okay, we got to unify. Come back to one another. Treat each other as the brothers and sisters that God wanted us to be.
That's right.
Okay, come out of this hatred that we have for one another.
The book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 3. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace.
You hear that? Endeavoring in all things, keeping the spirit of unity and peace. Excuse me. It's keeping the spirit of unity and peace. That's what we want. Keeping the spirit of unity and peace. Those things that's going on in our communities, that's not unity. That's not peace. That's detrimental to our communities.
Bring it out.
We ain't never going to be able to grow if we continue to live like that.
Right.
So that's what the soldiers, that the Bible's right. That's why I go back to Psalms 85 and 11. Excuse me. Go back to Psalms 85 and 11.
Bring it out. The book of Psalms chapter 85 verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth.
Truth is going to spring out of the earth. This Bible is going to spring out of the earth. Right now, Junior, you're going to learn who you are. You're going to learn how to teach your people who they are, how to keep God's commandments, how to get the kingdom of heaven. All right, read it again.
The book of Psalms chapter 85 verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
And what is that truth that the Bible is speaking about? Give me John 17:17. What is that truth that the Bible is speaking about? It's speaking about how to gather together in the unity and the spirit of Christ. Okay, keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. Because in keeping them law, statutes, and commandments, those atrocities, those murders, those killings, those stealings, those selling drugs in your community, those just being on drugs. We won't do those things if we know who we are and we know that the commandments of God. Read that.
The book of St. John, chapter 17, verse 17. Sanctify them through the, the book of John, chapter 17, verse 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth.
So you hear that? Thy word is truth. Okay? And the truth is going to make you free. Thy word is truth. These commandments are going to help set you free. Okay? They're going to help our people to realize not to do those things to one another. Right. So that's what the soldier was bringing out to you. Who you are according to the Bible. So, who are you according to the Bible? Was you listening to him? Who are you according to the Bible? Okay, watch this. Deuteronomy. Because if our people don't know who they are, why would they listen to that? Why would they listen not to kill each other? Not to bear hatred towards one another? Not to have grudges or avenge one another? Well, if they don't know who they are, if they don't know that they're righteous people, that they're a peculiar people, that they're special people, chosen people, they don't know that. Why would they listen to that? Everybody else is telling them that they niggas. Telling them that they ain't nothing. Teachers telling them that they ain't gonna be nothing. That's how they treat our people. But we gonna change that. We have to change that. We have to come out of the teachings of that. All right? Uplift our people. Start telling them how great they are. Our little kids. From a youth, tell them how great they are. Right. Stop telling them that they not nothing. That they ain't gonna be nothing because you ain't nothing. That's madness. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So it said, if we didn't listen to God, all these curses are going to come upon us and overtake us. One of those curses, go back to, hold that, give me Hosea 4:2 again. One of those curses is blood touching of blood, meaning you killing your own brother, lying to your own brother, you know, getting your sisters pregnant and just leaving, knowing that they're pregnant, knowing that they have no way to take care of that baby, and they just leaving. That's hatred for your own people. That's hatred for your own race. We want to magnify our race, not be detrimental to our race. Right. All right? You understand that? Go back to it. It's a curse that's upon our people. We must break that curse. The only way we're going to break that curse is by realize who we are and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of God.
Right.
Hosea, right? Hosea 4:2.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 2. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood.
That's one of the curses that's on our people. They lie, they steal, they kill one another. Those are curses that's on our people. Give me another one. Verse 32. 16. Go to 16.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in a city.
So cursed should they be in a city. In any city that you go to across the world, here in America, across the world, who's cursed in the city? Who's at the bottom of them cities? Who's building up these cities? That's our people. Our people. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Say, cursed should you be in the city.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Cursed should you be in the field. And we was cursed in slavery in the cotton field, in the tobacco field. We cursed right now in these work industries. First fired, last hired. All right. So the Bible's talking about us. And he said by looking at these curses, it's going to lead you to realize who you are, Junior. Okay? It's going to lead you to realize who you are. Right. It's going to lead you to show you that you're more than what the society told you that you are. Right. Verse 46.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
So this sign, these curses are going to be upon our people for a sign and for a wonder. For what?
And upon thy seed forever.
And upon our seed forever, so we may identify who we are according to the Bible. Okay? Because let me show you how God. Hold that. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6, and then 1 Peter's 2 and 9. All right? Because the Most High God said that we're more than what we have become. We're more than that. All right? I'm gonna show you how the Most High God feels about us.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
You see that, Junior? The Most High God have chosen you to be above all people upon the face of the earth. But we have not been taught that in society. We have been taught that we're nothing. No, they nothing. We something. We a special people.
Right.
You got that?
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation.
You see that, Junior? You are a chosen generation.
A royal priesthood.
A royal priesthood. You royalty, Junior. You royalty. But our people don't know that, man. They don't know that. And if the two brothers would have known that, they would have never did each other like that. The young man that did that to your son, he would have never did that if he would have known that he was a chosen, he was a royal person. Okay? If God chose him.
An holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should shew forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into marvelous light.
So you see that? That's what the prophets are out here doing right now, Junior. We're trying to call you out of that darkness. Because you didn't know who you was before this. The people around you didn't know who they were. We're trying to call you out of that darkness to this marvelous light. But first you got to understand who you are. It's gonna be all right, Junior. Just you got to realize who you are, man.
I know who I am.
Okay? Hey, did you get a flyer? Junior, did you get a flyer? Before you go, you got a flyer? Yeah. Okay, man.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. That's right. Take care of us. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have abandoned. We have repented. How about you? How about you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.